is Rafael, you're watching Rock and Roll Garage, and today we're going to talk about the album that Paul McCartney used to educate his kids musically. But first, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave your comment below, tell me what you think. The album he used to educate his kids musically was the most probably the most famous one released by the Beach Boys, which is Pet Sounds, released in 1966. And Paul is a huge Beach Boys fan. He's a huge fan of Brian Wilson, who was the mastermind behind the band. He was the one who really did most of the Pet Sounds incredible work. He had that vision. He heard those songs in his head, and he was able, with the help of a lot of, not only from the band, but the incredible team of the famous Wrecking Crew, to put that on record, and it's just a fantastic album. And Paul said that in an interview with David Liff back in 1990, and it's really interesting. You're gonna see right here what he said. And he said that he didn't felt like anybody was educated musically until they heard Pet Sounds, and that's why he bought one copy of the album to each one of his kids, so they could really learn what music was about. And I mean, he was a Beatle. He's one of the most successful and influential songwriters of all time, but he wanted to show them especially this Beach Boys album. And this is what he said: the early surf records, I was aware of them as a musical act, and I used to like all that, but I didn't get deeply interested in. It was just a real nice sound. We used to admire the singing, the high falsetto, really, and the very sort of California lyrics. It was Pet Sounds that blew me out of water. First of all, it was Brian's writing. I love the album so much. I've just bought my kids each a copy of it for their education in life. I figure no one is educated musically until they've heard that album. I was into writing and the writing and the songs. The other thing that really made me sit up and take notice was the bass lines on Pet Sounds. If you were in the key of C, you would normally use the root note would be like a C on the bass, and he demonstrated that in interview. You know, you can go to the description and go to the article we wrote about this, and you can read what he said, the technical part of it and the bass lines and etc. But it's incredible. I mean, Paul McCartney educating his kids musically, and he gives them one of each his kids. He gave a copy of Pet Sounds. How cool is that? I mean, he's a huge fan of the Beach Boys. He always when he had the chance, he said that. And he's a great friend of Brian Wilson. He inducted Brian Wilson into the Songwriters Hall of Fame back then, a few years ago. I don't think it's 20 years, but he had the chance to induct him into the Songwriters Hall of Fame, had the chance to perform with Brian Wilson live, and he performed his favorite song. He already said this in the same interview with David Liff in 1990. He said that God Only Knows, which is a song from Pet Sounds, is his favorite of all time. And this is what he said. He said, it's really, really a great song, a big favorite of mine. I was asked recently, back then, to give my top 10 favorite songs for a Japanese radio station. I didn't think long and hard on it, but I popped that God Only Knows was on the top of the list. It's very deep, very emotional, always a bit of a choker for me, that one. There are certain songs that just hit home with me, and they're the Strangers collection of songs, but that is high on the list, I must say. That's what he said about God Only Knows. That is one of his favorite songs. He said in this interview that is his favorite song of all time. And he had the chance to play that song with Brian Wilson live at least once, and you can look on YouTube. There is a beautiful version of Paul and Brian playing that song. And that's it. I hope you liked the video. It's quite interesting to see that, to know that. And please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave your comment below, tell me what you think, if you like the pet sounds or not, if you like the Beach Boys, and which album you would give to your kids to educate them musically. I would agree with Paul, you know. It's really an incredible album and everybody should listen to at least one time. Put their headphones on, their earphones on, and just close your eyes and enjoy that incredible ride that is Pet Sounds. Great album. Thank you for watching, and I see you later.